Josh, Great Up Customs, and we've got Project Hondarod right behind us. And it's a special Sunday because check out what we just put in yesterday. Yep, big boy of the Honda world, got the Honda Prelude h22a4, and I am stoked. I am super, super, super stoked right now. So I'm going to flip the camera around. What we're going to do is a little bit of chassis assembly. I still need to fit the axles in and make sure everything's good there, but I'll show you what I'm working on. And yeah, we're going to do a little bit of wrenching today. So without further ado, I guess I'm not going to flip the camera around. Just kidding. So yeah, so what we got going on here is a swap kit for an EG harness or a EG chassis. So you can see there's a transmission mount here, and there's a lot of room. A lot of room. I was kind of worried about the alternator hitting the front of the frame rail there, which it does not, so that's a good thing. What else you can see here, since I have the body off, is you can see the tube structure going around the back side of the chassis there. That's all 2x2 square tube, and there's a lot of triangulation going on in the back there, diagonals and such like that. So yeah, fun time, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the phone here, and I'm going to grab some axles. We're going to get these rear suspension components put back together, and I'm going to get the car on the ground, get the body back on, and see what this new engine swap looks like in person, right? How's that sound? So, get the camera rig set up here. Going to try to set you guys up at a pretty viewable angle here, at least the best I can. There we go. How does that look? Not too bad, huh? Not too bad. That's about the meat and potatoes of the business, ain't it? Yeah, I think so. So, like I said, I've got a pair of swap axles here. These are designed to go from the Honda Prelude chassis into the Honda Civic EG chassis. And with this particular engine setup, this is kind of a three-piece axle setup. So there's a driver's side, a passenger side, and then there's a mid shaft that connects the two. So I think what I'm going to try to do is just go for broke and see if this fits. This is the first time the engine's actually been in the car. So right now is just kind of doing the preliminary tests and fits and checks and make sure everything is kind of in the ballpark, which so far it's pretty darn good. And then once everything's test fit, I'm going to pull the engine back out, do some detailing, do some upgrades in terms of the timing belt, water pump, oil pump, all that kind of fun jazz. And then we will put it in for the final time. And that's when the party's going to start. I am going to see if I can turn off my ringer here. Boom. Try to keep you guys tone free if we can do that. This setup I purchased from a buddy of mine over in Kentucky, Derek Bradshaw of Bradshaw Motorsports. So if you guys need any sort of Honda parts, whether it's driveline stuff or just miscellaneous interior trim parts, hit up Bradshaw Motorsports. He's got a little bit of everything. Let's see here. I think this, well, I don't think, I know this is going to be the passenger side shaft. And I'm hoping that I can finagle this in here without having to take off the whole knuckle assembly here. I do not know. Like I said, this is literally the first time I've tried putting any of this together. Figured I could do it with you guys. I like doing this live format instead of trying to do videos. For me, it's just easier to do the filming and do it live than it is to film, record, edit, all that kind of fun stuff. So if you're into Honda performance stuff, if you're into wrenching and building cool cars, give me a like, give me a follow, give me a You know, thumbs up, thumbs down, doesn't matter to me. Thumbs are thumbs are thumbs. There we go. That's a pretty good sign to start out with. Move my shop light here. I do have a floor jack I'm going to use in terms of putting a little bit of muscle at it. Anytime you can work smarter, not harder, is a good thing. When it comes to moving around suspension stuff, use the tools at your disposal. All right. Okay. Well, I don't want to say that we've hit a roadblock initially, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that's going to go in, unless I got the wrong axle. Which I don't think I do. I think that's the right axle. How's it going? How's it going? Happy Sunday. We might hit a roadblock right out of the gate here. That's one of the fun parts about doing a live is that you don't know what you're getting into. Hi, how's it going? Miss Chantel King. Trying to figure out what's going on here. I thought this was going to be an easy cheesy, get it going, get it running. Turn off the shop heater here, and I've already hit a little bit of a roadblock. I do have another axle shaft, but this one is for the other side. So I'm not convinced. Not convinced this goes in this side. I know this did come out of a Honda Civic hatchback, so again, in theory, this should just go right in. That does not look like it's going to work. Because I am nowhere close to actually getting into the suspension points here. So I don't know what I'm missing here. I was not expecting this. Sorry, guys. I just put in a new engine. So this engine is out of a Honda Prelude. Should be a lot more horsepower than what it's currently, well, than what it did have. I am super confused here. Let me investigate this a little bit here. That seems to be seating all the way down there. All right. All right. Now I'm a little bit stuck. Yeah, this is called Project Hondarod. It is a mid-engine 33 Ford, or what's styled as a 33 Ford. Excuse me. I call it the smiles per mile machine. Nobody knows what it is. I get looks everywhere, gas stations, car shows. It's all right. So the half shaft is in. Check to see if I'm in neutral. Yep. All right, we're gonna move this jack over just a little bit. Sorry guys, I was expecting this to be a really easy, butter smooth operation here, and it's not quite. There we go. Maybe that's better. Nope. I am nowhere close. These axles are definitely not going to work. Which is kind of a bummer. Unfortunately. Hi again. Yeah, let me pull this back out again, I guess. I don't know what else to do. I do want to get the car down on the ground today. And so, one way or the other, I'm putting this back together, putting the car down on the ground because I need to move it around a little bit. But I was really hoping that would be with the axles installed. And unfortunately, that just might not be in the cards for today. Come on. Oh, I am close. I was really hoping I didn't have to drop the whole knuckle. Of course, it probably should get the whole knuckle drop, but it's not how we roll. There we go. And it has to be the right axle shaft. Oops. Interesting. Very interesting. All right, well, we're not going to stop forward progress. I want to get the car back on the ground, so I'm going to put this up regardless. I'll check to see if the other side axle works, which I highly doubt it will now. I am very, very, very confused at this point. So, unfortunately, this is part of the trials and tribulations of building a hot rod. Sometimes things go very, very smooth, and sometimes they don't. That is just the name of the game. Forgot what size hardware I'm dealing with here. There we go. Grab our fancy wrench here. Next part we're going to grab are the coilovers for the car. This runs a set of Skunk 2 Pro ST coilovers. Pretty fancy. These go right up through here. And something like that. This is the part that would normally go around the axle, but since the axle did not want to go in, we're just gonna reinstall it without the axle. How's that sound? Like I said, I really, really, really want to get the car down on the ground today, just so I can get it moved. And I will address the axle issue at a later date. I might need to make a few phone calls, because that was a very unexpected situation to come up right now. Oh, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. This particular set of coilovers is adjustable. I should mention that I do have a Instagram as well. I have two Instagrams. One is Great at Customs, and that's my fabrication stuff. And then the other one is Project Hondarod, which is for the hot rod, obviously. The goal with both my channels is to try to do a informational learning, how to have some fun, talk about the real deal of what actually happens in a shop. I see too many of these channels that are, I don't want to say fake, but they're fabricated, and what they're actually showing, they're missing out so many steps of what actually happens in a real shop. And so I want to be very transparent about real deal, real world, real life kind of stuff, you know. And stuff like this. I thought putting the axle in was just going to be smooth as butter, and it didn't go in. So, you know, that's what happens sometimes. Shop life, right? I am going to need to call my buddy and see what's up, because this should have went in without a problem. So I don't know if I need to. I don't know what I need to do now, put it that way. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. And this is one of those times where I don't know is going to be okay. I seem to be missing a piece of hardware here, which is not the end of the world, but I would like to try to at least get everything bolted back up like it should be. And I must have kicked that nut or bolt somewhere. I don't know. It happens. Oh no, it's right here. Ha! See? I knew I'm not losing my mind. Yeah, this is pretty serious work. The car did take me about 1.5 years to build, and I think I've got probably about 1,500 hours into it, which you don't want to do the math on what that would actually cost to have a real shop work on it, but I've been a professional car fabricator for about 25 years, so I've worked in some very, very, very high-end cool shops and seen some very, very expensive projects, but this one is kind of my personal art project. We're definitely not in a fancy shop. I've got a pretty good tool arsenal here at the garage, but it's nothing like some of the shops I've worked at, put it that way. I've got a few fancy tools, but nothing crazy. That's just spinning. It's all good. Okay. All right, that side is assembled. Yeah, it's a lot. I joke around and laugh like it's not a big deal, but it's a lot of work. Some people take 3, 4, 5 years to build a car, and I didn't want to do that with this one. I wanted to be able to drive it and actually enjoy it. So if I really wanted to go crazy on it, I could have easily spent 3 or 4 years working on it and just not driving it. But I decided to, do the progress over perfection thing and just hammer it out and get it done. This car has been on the road now for 5 years, coming up in April. So that's kind of the idea of what's going on here is this new engine swap. I'm going to have a birthday party for the car in April and hopefully do some burnouts, have some fun, celebrate a little bit with some buddies, but 5-year anniversary of driving it on the road. So that's a really, really, really big accomplishment. Like I said, there are some people that never even have that dream come true. I get to drive my dream every time I turn the key on this. So I am blessed. I am super grateful. I'm super fortunate for, the abilities I've been given with my hands and the situations I put myself in to be able to build a project like this. And like I said, I know what I got. It's something that I'm pretty proud of. So I appreciate all the support, and I appreciate the people that are following along and helping watch where the project's going to go from here. The goal is always to have a lot of fun, show it off, and kind of inspire people to do their own car builds or to be creative and just, build your dream. It's done all that and more, put it that way. It's been nothing but a dream come true. So I'm going to put this side of the body back on and then go over to the other side, and I'm going to try to see if this axle fits on the other side. I don't think it's going to, but we're going to roll the dice. Either way, this side's ready to rock and roll. I'm going to put a wheel and tire back on it so we can get this lowered back on the ground. Like I said, I do need to move some things around the shop, so the car is going to get resituated, and I need that space back. So let's get our fancy light out of the way here. I'm really, really, really bummed that axle just didn't drop right in, though. I'm going to have to make a couple phone calls. Sorry about that noise. So the body on this car was 100% handmade. It's all fiberglass. And it comes on and goes off very, very, very easily. So here's kind of the idea of what the car looks like now. There we go. So there's a little bit more of a visual what the car looks like. Still doesn't have doors on it right now. I'll go get the doors later here. Like I said, I wanted to move the car around, so we'll do our best. Move you guys over to the other side of the shop here. Cross your fingers for me. Hope that this side maybe goes in. Oh. Hold on a second here. I just lost my camera mount. There we go. Get this side body out of the way. Welcome to the driver's side. And again, I think I'm going to try to do the same thing I just did already. Where I'm going to try to put the passenger side or the driver's side axle in here and see if maybe this side fits. I'm not very optimistic at this point, though, put it that way. Okay. Okay. Technical difficulties, huh? Oh, this is not going how I thought it was going to go today, guys. I am super, super sorry about that. I am kind of confused. So I'm pretty sure that it came out of a running car. All right. It's kind of in there. I'd like to see it seated a little bit more than what it is. See how that looks. It's getting a lot closer to where it should be. And again, based on what happened on the other side, I am not convinced that this is actually going to go in. If it does, I'm going to be very, very shocked. Very, very, very shocked if this actually goes in. All right, well, I am shocked. Because this side seems to be going right in. So, that must mean I did something wrong on the other side. Because this side works fine. So, I don't know what that means. But I'm excited. This side axle works good. That works fantastic. So I'll take that as a win. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to just call that a win. And then I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on that other side, because something's going on. You know, I've had this thing apart enough times that I've almost got the tool sizes memorized. If anybody's watching and knows why that other axle didn't just drop right in, let me know. Because it seems like it should have. Luckily, this car comes apart and goes together very, very, very easily in terms of servicing. So when I do figure out what's going on, it should be a pretty easy fix. Now I kind of want to go back over to the other side and take it back apart and see if I'm just missing something small. I find it really, really, really difficult to believe that this side would go in and that side doesn't. I find it really difficult to believe that would be the case. Let's see if the axle nut works, huh? Yep. Axle nut works on this side at least. I might go give that a blast with the impact just to call it good. Oh, fail. Come on. I might get lucky here. Yep, got lucky. Better lucky than good some days, right? Boy, now I'm really confused about that other side. Come on. Like I said, today we're not going crazy. This is just literally a test fit mock-up. Pretty darn important when you're building hot rod stuff to do test fits and mock-ups just to make sure that everything's fitting like it should. And here's where I kind of got to take a lucky guess. I know that the engine and transmission that's in this car now weighs a little bit more than the one that came out of it. And so I have to kind of set this accordingly. There you go. So that's about 10 quarter turns of preload after I couldn't really go any further by hand. And this may or may not be correct. We'll find out temporarily. But I'm going to call this side good to go. And this side actually is good to go, which I'm happy about that. I might go back and take out that other side again. Side of the body is going back on. so. When I built this car, I built it so that I could service it by myself. Figured that was pretty important when it comes to car building, is actually being able to work on your car. Pretty important, right? And the body on Hondarod comes off in about 20 minutes. Gravity. There we go. That's good to go. And I think I'm going to go grab a wheel and tire. These wheels and tires that I have on the car are 18 by 9 inches. There you go. Kind of a traditional hot rod style, bullet style. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a lot of tire size for a little Honda engine. Most times on a standard Honda Civic or Integra or something like that, people are running figure like a 17 by 8 maybe. These are 18-inch by 9 wide, and they run a 255 45 18. So it's pretty significant amount of significant amount of rubber here. There we go. It's one of the reasons for the engine upgrade was to try to get a little bit more power. Hopefully spin these tires a little faster. Currently the car does not do a burnout. It'd be really nice if it did a burnout. I'd be a very, very, very happy camper. I don't need to go crazy and torque these down too much right now because they will come off again later. Am I working on the tires now? Yep, I'm just putting it together so I can get it put back on the ground. I need to move some stuff around the shop, which means I need to move the car. There we go. Done. That side is assembled. Boy, I really want to see if that other axle is going to go on the other side. I just can't believe it's not going to. I'm really, really shocked that it's not going in, that it didn't go in there. Really shocked it didn't go in there. So there's this side of the car now. Quarter panel all put back together. See, the car is pretty low to the ground. It's kind of a street legal go-kart, to be honest. You know, without having fenders on it, you get to see the tires when you're going down the road. Water goes all over the place when you hit puddles. But yeah, with that engine in the rear there, this is basically for all intents and purposes a street legal go-kart, and it is a riot. Like miles per mile, this thing is a riot. I really, really, really want to see if that other axle is going to go in. I hate to do that. What do you guys think? You want to give it another go and see if that other axle is going to go in, or do you want me to drop it down? I think I can go grab the doors at least and get the doors bolted back on real quick. The doors take about, I don't know, a minute to put on. There, that one's on. Like I said, this car is meant to be serviceable. I really, really did not want to build a car from scratch and then not be able to work on it very, very easily. So everything I did was built to be extremely serviceable. And I win in that department. All right. Driver door is installed just like that. Less than 5 minutes. I'll go grab the passenger door now. Chantel King, hi. Thanks for hanging out with me this long if you guys are still here. All right, we're gonna go grab the passenger side door. Show you how easy that one is to put on. And it's literally just a matter of lining up the door where the door hinges are. And 3 bolts. I was very, very inspired by watching race cars over the years, like the Daytona Daytona 24-hour, Le Mans, cars like that, where if they get in an accident, they can literally change out the entire body of the car in the pits in just a few minutes. And that was kind of my inspiration behind making a car that was that serviceable. Close. There we go. You can see that there's some blue tape on the car right now. The reason why is I'm going to be doing some body modifications. I'm going to be painting the car as well. So if you guys are interested in paint jobs and, you know, body work and stuff like that, the car will be getting a paint job. I'm not going to go crazy with it. For our Bonneville Land Speed car, we use Rust-Oleum maintenance enamel, like farm and tractor paint. And it comes in all sorts of different colors, so you can mix your own and come up with your own custom blend. That's what I'll be putting on the car. It's really, really affordable. I think it's like $60 a gallon or something like that. It's really, really cheap. And that's going to be the game plan for the paint job, is just get it all prepped, get it all scuffed down, and put a nice satin white on the car. But I think I'm going to end up two-toning it is kind of what the game plan is going to be. So stay tuned for that if you're into bodywork stuff. I don't know if I've mentioned this. I do have another YouTube channel called Grey Duck Customs, as in the game Duck, 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 Grey Duck, or Duck, Duck, Goose, like some of you guys play. But we're from Minnesota, so it's called Duck, Duck, Grey Duck. I do a lot of carbon fiber fabrication over at the Grey Duck Customs YouTube channel. I make race car parts. I make scooter parts, Harley Davidson parts. I make art. I make all kinds of things over there. So in terms of fabrication, that's my main fabrication channel. This is the fun channel. This is the hot rod side. So that's what we're about over here, is having fun. Boy, I'm torn. I really want to put this. I really want to get this axle on, guys. I am. I'm very confused by why it didn't go in the first time. And I kind of want to investigate this a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know if the tripod bearing wasn't popping in right or something. I don't know. I just don't know. That doesn't sound good regardless on this side. Really shouldn't be making that kind of knocking noise. I don't think I'm going to put the axle in right now, guys. I think I'm going to have to make a phone call. That just does not seem. That just doesn't seem right. There's something wrong with that. So I'm just going to throw the other side tire on, get the wheel and tire on here, get the car dropped down, get it rolled back, show you guys what it actually looks like on the ground. And then I'm going to have to deal with this axle issue later, but it's definitely got something going on there. Like I said, all part of the process, right? We're 90% there. I am still winning right now. Just even getting the engine mounted in the chassis is a giant win for the weekend. I literally just got this engine on Thursday night. So the fact that the engine and transmission is even in the car is a giant win already. I may try to find some 5-lug CRX spindles here. That way I can lose these wheel adapters. It'd be really cool if I didn't have wheel adapters. It'd be really cool if it was just 5-lug right out of the gate. But in order for me to do that at this point, I would also have to get different offset on the wheels. So I have to confirm before I make that swap that the wheels that I would need to match are actually available. Because I'm not buying new wheels for the car. If there's a wheel sponsor out there that wants to throw some wheels on the car, I would be more than willing to let them do that. What's kind of comical is when this car was first built, it was built as an automatic. And about a month after I had the car on the road, the automatic transmission blew up. So I ended up buying a manual transmission for it. And initially it was a 1.5 liter single overhead cam. Well, because it's a mid-engine, I ended up doing a cable shifting hydraulic clutch transmission out of a different year Honda. And I must have had 4 or 5 sets of axles that went into that thing before it finally worked out all right. So now to have some axle issues on the h22 setup is it's kind of comical. Ooh, I gotta get that tie rod in tightened up underneath there. We've definitely got some free play in the back of the wheel, which again, no big deal. Right now the car is just going to be rolling around and moving in the garage, but let's see if I can get this a little tighter than what it is. It might just be spinning in there, I'm not sure. Yeah, it feels like it's just gonna spin in there. But I just remembered one more thing too. I need to tighten up the preload on this rear spring before I set the car down. Because otherwise it's gonna make contact with the body 100%. And again, I go about as tight as I can possibly go by hand. Come back and I'm going to give we'll give this about 10 quarter turns like I did on the other side and kind of see where we're sitting at. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that'll get us in the ballpark for what we're doing right now. I have to crank it up just a little bit. We have the technology to change that. All right, so that's all tight, that's all tight. That's all tight. I think we're good to go. I think we're good to jack this up and drop it down on the ground and show you guys what it actually looks like on the ground. The nice thing about this car, since it's so braced up, so triangulated everywhere on the chassis, that no matter where I lift from on any of the back corners, the whole car comes off the ground. And let's see what happens here, huh? That's close. Oh yeah, plenty of room. Oh, I got coolant running out of my coolant hoses. Oh, this is great. You guys, I am making a mess on the floor right now. Ah! Let me try to grab a drain pan maybe. I think I might be too late. I think I just gotta throw some rags on the floor. Oh, I didn't even think about that with the coolant. Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. What a beautiful mess that is. Again, real life, real shop, real deal, real world, no editing. That's how it goes. I need to find a bucket or something. I gotta put this in. All right, there we go. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. That's okay though. We're just gonna have a pile of dirty rags. It's all good. That's what we buy the shop towels for. We buy the cheapies and we use them up, right? Oops. Oops. What a rookie move, huh? What a rookie move. Who is this guy? It's a fun adventure you get here at Project Hondarod. I'm going to try to baby step this and move it back here. Take a couple tire chocks out of the way. I do have a bunch of floor sweep I'm going to throw down here just because I'm going to try to soak up as much of that as I can. I'm not being bashful, I'm just throwing it down. We'll sweep that all up later. You guys have never used floor sweep or floor dry. It has a very unique smell to it. Wouldn't say it's the best thing in the world, but it does the job, if you know what I mean. There we go. See if that can clean up most of the mess there, eh? Try to keep that drain pan underneath where it's dripping from. All right. All right, let's see if I can get this camera turned around here. Yep. There we go. So, there is Project Hondarod. And Again, you guys can see stage one of getting our brand new h22a engine swap going. So it is bolted in place. Like I said, the passenger side axle went in pretty good. Or sorry, the driver's side axle went in pretty good. The passenger side axle having some issues, so I'm gonna have to address that, but that is what we're looking at. Yep. A lot more power, a lot more torque, and a lot more fun to come. So for everybody hanging on and staying with me, thank you for spending some time with me today. I very much appreciate the support. I very much appreciate you guys hanging out. And yeah, it's been a happy Sunday. I'm going to hop off live here and have a wonderful afternoon, everybody, and stop back again soon. And hopefully we got our axle situation figured out. We're going to be doing some more fun stuff. So I'll catch you guys all later. Have a good one.